You might be wondering why I'm sitting with all this cloth when I'm inside. And you'll just be like, yes, of course, everybody knows it's cold in Denmark when it's winter. But no, it's cold 85% of the year. Hello unicorns and to all you new people. So during my time here on YouTube, I have been asked several questions about how it is to live in Denmark, what Denmark is like, and if I could tell about the culture. But first I think we should start with some simple facts so that you know a little bit about Denmark. First of all, Denmark is a country located in the northern Europe. Denmark is a part of Scandinavia and it's actually a kingdom. Yes, you heard right. One of the last surviving actually, and is currently under the headship of the chain-smoking Margrethe II. Yes, we do have a queen. Denmark is a small population with only 5.7 million people. And I know you're like, that is such a small country. But nonetheless, we are a huge influence to the rest of the world. And I will tell you why later. Denmark is also the third happiest country in the world, which in my opinion is kind of ironic because we also are on the second place in amount of antidepressant consumed, only beaten by Iceland. So yes, Iceland, we're coming for you. No, really, all jokes aside, I do believe it's because we have such a good support here in Denmark. We have free healthcare, we have paid education. The government is paying for our school, and once we get to college and university, we get paid for going to school. Isn't that great? But of course, this comes out of cost. Nothing is free in this world. So we do have to pay a lot of money to the government in order to get these great opportunities. Because Denmark is also one of the highest taxed countries in the world. And as I said before, even though Denmark only takes a small part of the world, we still have great influence on the rest of the world. Did you, for example, know that companies like Maersk, Lego, Carlsberg and Arla all are Danish founded companies, voted as the best restaurant in the entire world? Noma, a Danish restaurant located in Copenhagen. Hans Christian Andersen, he's Danish. And what about the hot guy Jaime Lannister from Game of Thrones? He's Danish too. We also have the famous Lars von Trier, the man behind Nymphomania, basically a 4-hour-long porno movie, but don't tell him. Speaking of porn, Denmark was also the first country to legalize pornography. So proud of being Danish. We have such a rich and proud culture. So as you probably can hear, there's a lot of benefits to Denmark, but there is also the Danish language sounds like a man with a potato in his mouth. And no, I'm not kidding you. Try to say rød grød med fløde. Rød grød med fløde. And try this for example. Vi elsker hygge. Vi elsker hygge.
Vi elsker hygge.
A whole potato filling your entire mouth. That is Danish in a nutshell. Oh my god, now I will never visit Denmark, too difficult. Don't worry, 80% of the Danish people have been taught English most of their lives, since our education system provides English lessons at an early age. Even though Denmark is just a small country, Denmark has definitely left its mark. Alright, so now that you have some knowledge about Denmark, let's get to the questions. Alright, these are not exactly questions. It's more like statements about Denmark because I've combined all the questions I've gotten through the years doing YouTube. Danish people drink too much. Yes, that also has something to do with the Danish founded company Carlsberg. We drink a lot of beer. We're also one of the most hard drinking countries. Danish people can drink a lot. So yes, if you want to go to a party with a Danish person, you're probably going to be underneath the table at the end of the night. We are drinking your butt off. Everyone in Denmark is good looking. People don't date in Denmark. No, that is completely true. People don't feel like they have to be awkward and ask each other out on dates in order to get a conversation started. No, not really. Most of the relationships that we have here in Denmark has been started by some kind of event. So not like a date. So let's say I attended at an acting workshop. I might meet a sweet girl there and we might show interest for each other. But that doesn't necessarily mean that I will ask her out on a date. I will just be like, okay, let's make this Hollywood movie where we sit in a high tower with a beautiful table, have some wine and talk about our lives. No, that's not how it works. If it's meant to be, then we will meet at another event and we'll be like, hey, I know you. Yeah, I know you too. Okay, let's make out. No, that was just a joke. That was just a joke. But it is unusual that we will just ask each other out on a date, like they do in America, for example. It's just not a common way here in Denmark. I don't know, maybe that's why we only have 5.7 million people. Maybe if we started dating, we would have more. Danes swear a lot. How dare you fucking say that? We don't fucking swear. I have never heard some Danish people swear. Retard? God damn it, man. You fucking dick. Cyclists are killers in Denmark. You are so right on that one. I mean, car accidents really happens here in Denmark too. But it's more common that a bike would bump into you whenever you are walking on the road. Because like, there are so many cyclists here in Denmark. I don't know why, but people just don't like driving in cars. But wherever you go in Denmark, watch out for the bikes. They are definitely going to hit you if you don't watch out. Title on Danish newspaper. Boy killed by bike. The Danes only eat hot dogs. I wouldn't agree 100%, but I definitely see where you're coming from. If you travel to Denmark, you will find a lot of hot dog shops because we have those small cars driving around on the street and saying like, hey, come and buy a hot dog. Or they don't say that, but people will just walk over to them and buy a hot dog. So if you're a tourist in Denmark, you will probably see a lot of people buy hot dogs, but we also eat a lot of other food. You can also buy hot dogs in a shop called 7-Eleven, and they are open 24/7. That rhymes. Danish people always reach their goals. Now this is interesting. This has a lot to do with the lore of Jan-te. If you have this boy who really wants to become a doctor, and whenever he's saying, I want to be the best doctor in Denmark, then people will eventually come to him and say, no, that's not going to happen. You should become a lawyer. People might say it's not possible. People say, no, you should probably think about something else. It's really difficult. And that's simply because we have this philosophy or mindset saying that you are not better than the crowd. And that's why people saying that we are reaching our goals better than other countries, because statistically we are actually having a better chance of reaching our goal, because at the start we are setting our goals lower than other countries. Personally, I'm not following that because I want to become an actor. People know that is very difficult. But again, I'm not really like other Danish people because I don't really care what people think about me. No one ever crosses the red light in Denmark, even though there's no cars. In my opinion, that's not true. I see a lot of Danish people crossing the red light. But I can see why some people are not crossing the red light. Of course, it's breaking the law. And also, watch out for the psycho bike killers. It's dangerous out there in the traffic, you know. People are quiet in the public transportation system in Denmark. Now this is very interesting as well. Because... oh, sorry about that. Because if you, for example, compare Spain and Denmark, you would probably notice that in Spain, people would always come and ask about questions and talk about themselves and be happy and talk with everybody because they have so good damn much to talk about. So when they finally get home, they have nothing to talk about. Again, in my belief, it's about the mindset. People in Denmark just don't want to bother each other that much. Why would you talk to another person just because you want to talk with another person? We all simply want to get along and, you know, move on with our daily life. So we wouldn't waste time on just talking to strangers and speaking randomly to everybody we once meet. If you're sitting in the train and you randomly walk over to a stranger and then start talking with that person, he would think that you are either crazy or you are not from here. But of course, not all people are like this, but people just want to mind their own business. Yeah, babies are left alone in cars and carriages. Yes, because why would you steal a baby? In America, people might be crazy and running around with guns. Nothing is ever happening in Denmark. Some people don't even lock their doors because we don't have many thieves. Yes, there is of course people who are stealing stuff, but I have never heard about a guy who would steal a baby. So you're saying that other countries than Denmark, people are stealing each other's babies? You guys got some serious problems then. Alright, there's still a lot of questions that I haven't been answering, but I don't have time for more. And I just thought that these was the most common asked ones, and also something interesting that you might want to hear. If you do have more questions or if you want to start a debate, then please leave a comment down below, because I want to hear what have you heard about Denmark, and are you maybe a Danish person that can discuss these things with me, or do you have some other things that you have noticed when you were in Denmark? Please let me know in the comment section down below. So yes, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, then please give a little bit of thumbs up. Also subscribe to become a unicorn today. Comments if you have something to ask me about, or if you simply want to make a comment. As always, I love you unicorns. See you in the next video, and bye unicorns. Peace out.